Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We're live in downtown Vegas. Circa Resort Casino is the spot. Mitch Moss, Paulie Howard. Happy Festivus. Big 3-hour program lined up today. Longtime Vegas odds maker Nick Bogdanovich in 30 minutes. Get his thoughts on the college football quarterfinals coming up. J.R. Starkus, he's going to make a holiday cocktail. It's very easy. He's been in studio several times. With Christmas here, New Year's next week, you can make it for your friends, family, at a get-together and blow them away. Paul Stone, Best Bets College Football in 90 minutes, and Randy McKay on the show, professional gambler Paulie, in 2 hours. A lot of things to get into with him. He loves betting lower-level college football, but also you're telling me that he has been able to, let's say, manipulate drawings in the past to win a car?
He's won, I want to say, 9 car drawings. And
9?
I think at least 9. And then you can either take the vehicle or just take cash. And he did a great video with Krakenberger about how you can manipulate your drawing. Here's what they have here at Circa. They have, it's just a small raffle ticket, but they used to be bigger. But I think it's fascinating how it's not even like David Stern with the Knicks with the frozen envelope, but how you can manipulate it in different ways where it's advantageous or the person will draw your ticket out of the draw. Why has he won so many, right? So he's a sharp cat. Can't wait to get into that. I saw the video months ago. I'm like, this is phenomenal.
I did not see that video. I can't wait to talk to Randy about this because I'm going to go in fresh. And just based on what you were saying, minds are going to be blown, I think.
Yes.
Like last night with the game.
Last night.
Game plan from the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah. That was Shane Steichen elected to take a water pistol into a bazooka fight. What are you doing, man? You think that you could not adapt right away with how the defense was playing against Brock Purdy and this 49ers machine on offense now? I get it. Phillip Rivers, tip my cap, man. Look good. So Steichen, designing that kind of a game plan against a pretty weak 49ers defense overall, that can only take you so far because clearly, Paulie, anybody watching the game last night knew that they were not going to get any stops on this 49ers offense. And then it just throw any chance of getting Jonathan Taylor involved out the window last night.
Yeah, I was shocked by that. I thought it would go back to shorten the game and limit the possessions and ground and pound, but they also stacked the box and wouldn't let Taylor go off. I can't believe you have a 44-year-old quarterback who can't move. Like all time, cannot move. And he doesn't blitz till the third quarter. I was shocked by that. But
maybe he just thought that the dinking and dunking was not going to do anything against them. But again, clearly it was.
Yeah.
And they were not even dinking and dunking last night. Like he was getting the ball down the field.
Well, how about that? That's the first time in his career he scored a touchdown on a free play. I couldn't believe that. That blew my mind how long Rivers has played and how many touchdown passes. But they might be the 1 seed. They have a great coach. They have a phenomenal offense. But boy, that defense is bad. And how the old man picked them apart. And they pulled him early. Of all games, this is the game that had all the crazy props cash. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. And if they keep Rivers in there till the end, Rivers, 150 yards passing each half, was 60-1. Rivers and Purdy to combine for 600 yards was 40-1. Wow. Those both would have cashed if they didn't pull them early.
Well, as always, shop around because the differences in the Coach of the Year market at various sports books, they're all over the map. Now, Mike Vrabel remains the short shot at every book. Here at Circa, he's minus 110. Did you see what they moved to with Kyle Shanahan last night?
I saw a DK.
William Hill Caesars, like not that long ago this morning, still had Shanahan plus 550. JVT and I talked about that today on the latest edition of Pod to the Futures, which is going to be out here sometime soon. Shanahan here at Circa is 2-1. He is the second shot on the board. Mike McDonald is plus 450 here. He was tied or ahead of Vrabel at some books before this week. They have 7-1 on Ben Johnson, and this is by far the best number I've seen anywhere on Liam Cohen here at Circa. They have 9-1. So if you are traveling out here to Las Vegas this week, or if you are in a state or nearby a state that has Circa Sports and you want either Ben Johnson or Liam Cohen, by far and away the best numbers. They have the shortest numbers on Kyle Shanahan. They actually have the best number on Mike McDonald as well. But that is, they moved it 2-1. And I don't blame them because now it's becoming more of a narrative here in the media and people who have a vote saying that Shanahan has to be the guy.
Are they going to run the table, though? Can they win these next 2 games? I think they have to do that. There are 5 great candidates. Like Aikman's running it down last night with Buck. He's like, well, it's a shame. Only one guy can win. Mm-hmm. There are 5 great candidates. The Sunday night game's enormous for this market. The San Francisco-Seattle game will also be enormous, assuming San Francisco wins. What if the Bears run out? Who gets the 1 seed in the AFC? Is it New England? All this stuff is wild. And the Saturday afternoon game is so big with Houston and the Chargers. What if the Chargers are able to win the division? You know, Humans was making a case for Herbert MVP. Harbaugh's still 80-1, but there's still, even though we only have 2 games left, this is going to be wild how this could play out with all these markets and what's going to happen with the seeds. Even though 10 of the 14 spots are clinched, you have 5 newcomers, more on that coming up, but so much to be decided about who's going to get the 1, who could fall down to the 6 or the 7, and a lot can happen.
Who's the coach of the year if the Bears win out, take down that division, and Jacksonville's the 1 seed in the AFC?
Oh, I have to give it to Ben Johnson.
It's a phenomenal race.
I know.
You know, the Seahawks did win 10 games last year.
Fair, yeah.
They were not awful.
Right.
The 49.
That's a good point. That hurts them.
And there's also this, too. I think the number is completely wrong in the Offensive Player of the Year. I brought his name up several times. Christian McCaffrey is 10-1 at FanDuel.
Uh-huh.
Cannot be 10-1.
Fair.
There's no way, no how. He should be right behind Jackson Smith and Jigba and Puka Nacua. And he is 151 yards receiving away from becoming the first player in the history of the sport to have 2 different seasons of 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving in the same year. Now, is he going to get 151 over the next 2 weeks? I think that's very unlikely. And even if he doesn't, he is second in the league right now in yards from scrimmage. He's behind Bijan Robinson. But he also has 92 catches, and he has 16 touchdowns overall after scoring 2 more times again last night. I just think 10-1 is way too high on Christian McCaffrey right now to win this award. And then your guy, Jonathan Taylor, I mean, the game plan was weird last night.
It was.
You going to draw a line through him now?
Yep. What do we do with Rivers props moving forward now? Is that how they're going to play now, moving forward? Chuck and Duck? Go shotgun?
I don't know.
Because I think
too difficult to predict.
Yeah, you're right. It's one thing to go against that San Francisco defense, which is bad, but they have so many injuries, I give them a break. Now it's Jacksonville. After that, it's Houston. Still not eliminated. That's why this game is so important Saturday. If the Chargers win, then they play Denver for the division, and then Houston still has to win, assuming the Colts don't upset Jacksonville. But that game, if the Colts upset Jacksonville, suddenly that's a playoff game Week 18 if the Houston loses to the Chargers.
Right.
But it's a whole different ballgame. If you're going to run that offense and you're taking on Jacksonville, you saw what they did to Herbert, and then you have to take on the Texans. So that's where it's just, I can't believe he waited till the 3rd quarter to blitz, and the guy can't, no mobility, 0.
Yep. So overall, I would think that last night, knowing what we know right now, and, you know, we never saw that game plan coming last night, but last night was the game to ladder Phillip Rivers. I say that because he closed at around 160 passing yards. So now after last night, there's going to be a pretty decent adjustment against Jacksonville. And I say that because Jacksonville is great at slowing down the run. They are a pass funnel defense. Mm-hmm. So if that was their game plan against the 49ers last night, to not even really attack it with Jonathan Taylor and to go on the air, it's probably going to be similar. But now rather than 160, and by the way, the Opta AI stats at vsin.com, they loved him like last night. And if you laddered him, good job. You came in big time. I definitely did not. But in theory, he's going to be able to have a decent game passing the ball against this Jacksonville defense as well.
Plus 250 last night to have 200 yards passing. Plus 550 to have 100 yards passing each half.
What was he to get to clear 250 or to clear 275?
Big one. I know. Yeah. But that's going to be interesting to see how they adjust his numbers now after that performance and just, throwing it so much and getting away from the run. The other thing is, how is that not a touchdown to Tongas?
No idea.
I know somebody who had 18-1 anytime, and our producer, you can bet this stuff in play at Will Hill and Caesars, the exact outcome of the drive. He had that exact, what was it, the 8th drive, whatever?
It was, yeah.
Tongas touchdown on the 49ers' 8th drive, 50-1.
Yeah,
Where's the expedited review? What are we doing here? That's a touchdown.
How did that? They never took another peek at that. He had 80-1 on it.
Oh, 81.
So you can
sorry.
bet like seven touchdowns were scored in the game at that point.
Yeah.
He bet which player is going to score the 8th touchdown. He took them. That to me looked like a clear touchdown.
It was.
And not even discussed, talked about. No, let's go to the replay again and check it out to see maybe if that's another score for the 49ers. What?
Let Shanahan know. What's the staff doing?
Well, I'll
Where's
tell
the
you.
expedited review? What
Yeah.
are we doing here?
This continues to be way big of a problem in the NFL. I mean, just like the explanation at the end of the Lions game the other day, it took 5 minutes, guys. Come
Yep,
on.
yep.
And the explanation in the booth on the actual TV broadcast was way better. It was clearer, more concise, and they got it out right away. And then we're still waiting like, guys, okay, the dude in the booth just told us. And then how the lead referee that day came out to explain what happened, he had no idea. He's all over the map. First of all, he says it's a touchdown, and then Lions fans go crazy. Oh, hold on a second here, but it doesn't count, and here's why. Like, oh, really? This is how you're going to explain it to the crowd and people, like the tens of millions of people who are watching it? And by the way, the bettors who are involved across the board as well, and nothing last night? It's way too confusing in this sport.
Come on, you do your homework. You see Kittle banged up. You go for Tongas anytime you see the big return. He makes an unbelievable catch, and they blow the call. And they review everything, and they don't jump in here.
That had to be
that's
6.
bad.
Had
Absolutely.
to be.
I will say this, though. I don't know even if they can get the 1 seed, they can't stop anything.
No, it's...
Humans was right about, look, they win in games, but look at the schedule they're playing. Look who they're going against. And you saw the Rams game at home. They can't stop a damn thing defensively.
Up next, 3 bowl games on today's slate, including one in action as we speak. And I have some phenomenal trends tonight in the NBA that I'll share with you coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Thanks for checking us out today as we continue here with Director of New Accounts, Southern Glacier Beverage Company here in the state of Nevada. Also one of 13 master mixologists in the entire country, J.R. Starkus. By the way, follow him on Instagram. His handle there is JR Makes Drinks. Can't wait. I tried that one. What did you call the one around Thanksgiving? It was something with butter.
Yeah, so we did a butter fat wash. Yes, we did a butter fat wash.
It was delicious.
Did you like it?
Oh, yes, very much so.
We had a lot of listeners reach out and send me their approvals. They made it. We had a lot of people make that drink for themselves during the holiday.
And they all liked it?
Yeah, at least everybody that replied to me. I said, you got to let me know what you think.
Sure, of course, yeah.
And I didn't have any negative reviews, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But people were showing me their mise en place, all their butter and everything ready to go. And then I was like, you got to let me know what you think. And they're like, thanks so much. We enjoyed it. We killed it. I was like, awesome, man. So it's nice. It's nice to hear that people are trying the drinks and seeing that, like, as long as you're willing to play a little bit in the kitchen, sometimes mixology is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. Here you go.
I'll make a drink
the
today
floor
now.
is yours. What do you have on hand? What are you going to make today?
So I sent out last week, maybe, I put a post on my Instagram story, my JR Makes Drinks Instagram story, and I just asked for opinions when I knew I was going to be coming in with you guys. I said, hey, in your opinion, what makes a good holiday cocktail? And the number one answer was strong. That was the number one answer, naturally. And then I got, some people said sweet, some people said festive, some people said reminiscent. There was a bunch of different answers. Creamy was another answer I got. So I tried the best I could to combine all of those things into one drink, but yet make it simple. So I am using the...
Did you lose sleep coming up with this?
No, actually, well, it didn't come to me right away, but then it hit me like a ton of bricks.
Okay.
I was like, oh, I got it.
You got it.
Yes.
Very cool.
Because I was thinking, all right, can I do something with whiskey? Should I do something with vodka? What are people drinking in the holidays? I was like, no, none of that. Hot chocolate. That's where I'm going.
Beautiful.
Okay. So the inspiration for my drink is the Irish coffee. Irish coffee is typically Irish whiskey, sugar, coffee, and a cream on top, right? So my drink today is actually a liqueur-based drink, and this is Luxardo del Santo that I'm using. Luxardo del Santo is an herbal-based liqueur, really forward in the mint flavor, frankly. It's 80 proof. It's similar, if we have people at home that are drinkers, it's similar to green chartreuse, okay? The nice thing about this is that, A, you can actually find it, because green chartreuse can be a little bit of a unicorn sometimes, but it's also much less expensive, right? So this is a perfect thing to use for this cocktail. If you have the glass, like the Irish coffee glass, then I would suggest it. But if you do not, then you can use a coffee mug or something like it, whatever you want. I am going to be using 3/4 ounces of the Luxardo del Santo. And the reason I'm only using 3/4 ounces is because you can see in this Irish coffee mug, like, how much liquid that takes up. Okay?
That's probably 30% of the glass?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Give or take, yeah.
So if you're using a coffee mug, then up the Luxardo del Santo, because you're going to put more of the hot chocolate in. Now, next ingredient is my hot chocolate. Now, I'm not just using regular hot chocolate. You can use any hot chocolate you want. I'm using Abuelita Mexican hot chocolate.
Of course you are.
Okay, yes, it's phenomenal. You must. You can make it with water, but it's even better if you make it with milk. So this is Abuelita hot chocolate.
That's where you get the creamy part with the milk?
Correct, right? But I'm going to leave a little bit of room. But there's another step here. Now, on top of this, I'm going to add, I've made this ahead of time. This is boozy peppermint hand-whipped cream.
Okay. And that's easy to make?
Yes. Here's how you make it. So, you've ever seen Rumplemints before, right? Everybody knows
boy.
Rumplemints.
Yes,
okay?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yes, okay. So, to make boozy hand-whipped cream, 6 ounces of heavy cream, 4 ounces of Rumplemints, 2 ounces of simple syrup, and then I just take like a little milk frother. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
the little, you see them, like, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Milk frother. Put it in there and like whip it up to the consistency where it's your style of thickness. If you wanted to, I was thinking about it at first, but I was like, no, not everybody would have like a ISI whipped cream canister to like make whipped cream. So I was like, no, I'm going to do it like this. But you whip it up and it will get to the point where it's thicker, right? And it stands up nicely. So then what you can do is you can use the back of a spoon if you want. You don't have to necessarily if you make it thick enough, but you're going to basically float the whipped cream right here on top. So you don't have to use the spoon. You could do it like this too and just put it right on top. You see it right there on top? Yep.
Would you get a buzz just drinking that cold foam?
You could.
Yeah. With
Right.
4 ounces of Rumplemints, something
Yep.
tells me you would.
Then on top, right, now you take crushed peppermint candy, right? Peppermint candy cane. And you just put this right on top. Now, if you wanted to, you could take on the edge here. I didn't do it today because I was traveling, but what you could do to make this even a little more festive for yourself is take like, what is the marshmallow fluff? Mm-hmm. Put the marshmallow fluff on the outside and then put that candy cane on the outside of this, so make a rim. But that drink right there, that drink is, you will drink them so fast.
Yeah.
And the way that the Luxardo del Santo, the hot chocolate and the cold cream
Oh, boy.
come together,
Oh, that's good.
You can have it. Go ahead.
it
Take the whole thing.
will blow your mind. Like, it is so good. You can drink it so easily. Yeah.
The Rumplemints again.
But the Rumplemints and the peppermint whipped cream, it comes through. And yes, it definitely has alcohol because Rumplemints is 100 proof, right? It's 100 proof peppermint liqueur, or schnapps they call it, but it's not real schnapps because it's real, like German schnapps have very little sugar. This has sugar in it, but it helps to make this whipped cream, and it's 3 ingredients, super easy. And the nice thing about it too is if you wanted, you're going to make the hot chocolate. You can make the hot chocolate like I did over a stove, but another fun way to do it is just in a crock pot so it stays warm. And then the kids can help themselves to the non-alcoholic version.
Sure.
The parents can booze it up a little bit. You can even make 2 different whipped creams, one with the booze in it, the peppermint schnapps, and then one if you just want to use like a peppermint syrup or something like that you can find at the grocery store probably at this time of year. And then just garnish it with a little bit of candy cane on top. And it is warming. It's slightly sweet. It's definitely boozy, but it's not, and they'll get to you, but the more of this, you can put more of this in if you want. but I don't think it's necessary unless you're using a bigger glass.
All right, I
It's
love where your
phenomenal.
head's at.
Great job.
Looks
phenomenal.
absolutely amazing. Rumpleman sales across the country are going to be higher, the highest they've been since I was in college.
Right?
Yep.
Yep.
Bartender's breath mint, baby. That's what it is.
You remember, go back to when you were younger,
Yeah.
Paul, like
Oh, God.
the Rumplemans or Goldschlager?
Goldschlager.
Yes. Did that. Yep.
I will say this, being in this industry, I still today am floored by how much Rumplemints we sell.
What?
Really?
Get out of here.
Unbelievable amounts of Rumplemints. It's why I had the same reaction you just gave me when I looked into the numbers. I'd have to look into them again to give you exact numbers, but I can tell you this. Never in a million years did I think I would have to tell a customer, I'm so sorry, I'm out of stock right now. And I have had to say that more than once this year to a customer when they're trying to order Rumplemints. By the case, not just the bottle to put in the cooler that nobody knows about just in case. By the case, people are ordering Rumplemints, and there's some underground Rumplemints.
There has to be that we don't know about, right?
Wild.
See, now this, if you doctored up like this, that's an amazing use for it.
Yes.
Awesome. That drink's
But can you
awesome.
imagine, what would your reaction be right now if you took a shot out of that bottle?
I mean, I would probably enjoy it. I like mint, so I don't have a problem with
Oh,
it.
no, the Rumplemans.
Yeah.
Oh, you would be
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Oh, man, it'd be too rough.
90 seconds left. There, there was an article in the New York Times. How big of a problem is this that young people are like, oh, I'll open up a tab, and then after one drink, I close the tab?
I mean, it's a pain in the butt for bartenders, for sure. I don't know, like, if younger people just don't want to run a tab. Maybe they want to sign the check 15 times, or if they're afraid they're going to leave their card or somebody's going to steal it or something. I mean, more than anything, I think it's a pain in the butt for for the bartender to constantly be closing it out. But I don't know. Maybe everybody's a little different. I think, some people don't want all those cards behind the bar, to worry about later. I've always been a fan of, like, if I know I'm having one and leaving, then I'll close it. But if there's a chance I might have a second one, just keep it open. I'll come get it later. You know. But I'm sure. I wonder what it is with the younger crowd now.
Yeah.
Maybe they're afraid they're going
You're
to
only going to have one, pay for it.
Maybe it's like it's a debit card and they're going to roll out of money. I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I have no idea, but it's crazy.
Okay, so for the people who are watching the show right now, they were getting a glimpse of the recipe. They were putting it up when you were running it down. For the radio audience here, you're going to put this up as well. You can go back and obviously look at it here at vsin.com, but you'll put it up on Instagram.
Correct. It'll be on my JR Makes Drinks. I'll put it on Instagram. I think it's like a 3-minute video, and it will show you from soup to nuts how to make this drink. It's very simple. I mean, all the ingredients are basically in front of you on the screen now. Luxardo del Santo, Rumplemints, some candy canes, some hot chocolate, and then some simple syrup and heavy whipping creams. But all those things for the holidays you're going to have in the house. All of them.
Yeah. You're the man. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for
Merry
coming
Christmas. My pleasure.
Best Bets College Football, Paul Stone next.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSIN.
Thanks for checking in today, watching on YouTube TV, listening on Sirius XM, channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our great affiliates. Busy hour on tap, including beginning with a bang as a professional gambler, Randy McKay, joins the program in studio today. Good to see you, Big Randy. How are you?
Hello, Merry Christmas. I'm kind of like a misfit toy here in Vegas. First Christmas ever in Vegas, and
Good for you.
I'm kind of like Charlie in the box, I guess.
What brings you to Vegas then this year, of all years?
No family Christmas this year, so I had some different offers at different casinos, so I figured, this will be the week to do it. It's nice and slow in the casinos, so good time of year to get some of that end of the year, especially with this big, beautiful bill. I don't know where I'm going to be sitting next year, so that's another topic that could be a problem.
Well, we have to talk to you about that. You brought it up, so why don't we start there then? What do the members of this audience need to know if they forgot about it, never heard about it, maybe it's out of sight, out of mind right now, what that means to you and a lot of other people potentially here if it passes?
So high volume, high limit type players, let's say you lose 500,000 in a year and you win 500,000. Well, now you got to do tax on 50,000, because you can only do up to 90% back. So that's going to hurt a lot, as far as anybody playing big. Of course, this 2,000 threshold is going to help a little bit, but anybody that plays bigger than that is really going to get hurt if this doesn't get changed. You know, I can switch my ways a little bit and play games that I won't get taxed on. You know, there's, you know, decent, you know, games I've played before, like, you know, blackjack machines that are decent with decent points, or bubble craps. I used to play that a lot as well. I could switch to that.
But in terms of popping a big royal flush at this point, you typically play single play, $5 denomination, and you've cracked plenty of $20,000 royals. That's where it's really going to hurt you then, right?
Yeah, that's really going to hurt a lot, and I'm just going to have to cut back till they change it, you know, unfortunately, and it's going to hurt in the contest too. I got to decide, you know, if you want to keep doing these contests for the big buy-ins, and that's going to affect those as well.
Like that Grandissimo, will that affect something like Super Contest Gold?
Yeah, I think it would affect them all. You know, you can only, you know, if you win one, then you can only, you know, file back 90% of losses you have the other way.
I know Derek's been pushing for it big time. Like, come on, this is not sensible. We got to come to our, you know, think about this a little bit more. 90% makes no sense. Mm-hmm. He's not the only guy. I mean, a lot of the big, you know, higher up CEOs here in Las Vegas have been saying the same thing. Like, what are you doing here? You can't ding the gamblers that much.
Yeah, definitely. He was here at Bet Bash too when I was here, and of course they had the gal from Nevada. She was, you know, pushing for it as a bipartisan. Of course, Ted Cruz, you know, he's a Republican from Texas, well known. He's, you know, he's a big fan of gambling, and, you know, a big friend of Phil Hellmuth.
Okay, excellent. So I saw you yesterday, and you sent this picture in. And you've used to, great story, and it'd be great to put something on the website, film a video, about picking up multipliers and what people leave on a machine, vultures, whatever term you want to use. You used to be able to do it on a regular basis in Las Vegas, but there's so many people, forget about it now, they're always looking for multipliers. This is...
I saw it today with my own eyes.
Yeah, okay. Mitch loves this game, Ultimate X bonus streak, where if you get dealt something nice in a full house, it's going to hold on for the ride. It's a party. So tell us what you walked by this machine and what it was on and what you scooped and how you won $4,000, please.
So right below where it says jackpot hand pay, there's an 8X on there, and there's a couple 2Xs. So that game, you got to play double of what you play normally. It's different than Ultimate X, where you can just play it off.
Yeah.
This game, you have to fire double of the bet. So that's a $100 bet right there. And, you know, fortunately, I hit 4 aces with a kicker for 4,000. Had I hit it on the line below, it would have been 32,000. Mm-hmm. But you can make a huge score playing that game, you know. And people, you know, they go broke on that game very easily because you got to bet double what you do, and then they leave the ladder multipliers. There's like a 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10
12,
one.
yeah.
It goes all the way up sometimes.
Yeah.
And people will leave that because they go broke or they hit a jackpot and they're happy.
Yep. So on the screen, you see next hand. Like he said, next hand, 8, 10, 12, and you walked into Merry Christmas. You're right, you did get it on top with no multiplier, but how often does this happen, and were you just minding your own business and you look over and see, oh my God, someone left a big boy here?
Yeah, a lot of times when I'm playing in high limit, I'll just look over and, you know, somebody will leave one, or, you know, sometimes I even check them every once in a while, and they're just sitting there like, I'm sure if you show the other one on the Ultimate X, that was up at Circa here, and I was just walking into high limit, and all of a sudden there was a deuces one just sitting there.
What was that one?
I hit for 1,000 on one line on the deuces. I hit for like 1,500 total.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. I was playing here, my machine that I popped a couple of times this year. This goes back a couple of months. A guy was sitting down right next to me. He hit 4 aces on 10 play. And he wasn't dealt it, but he hit a couple of them when he was dealt 3. And he sat there for a minute. I don't think he could believe how much he had actually paid at the time. It wasn't a jackpot, but it was close. Mm-hmm. He got up and left. I'm watching this unfold. I'm like,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I quickly pulled out I went over to his seat immediately, and I had to.
Oh, yeah.
You're making a huge mistake if you did. I didn't hit anything,
Okay.
but that was a huge mistake by him.
Is this the oh, go ahead.
That's a $1,500 bill just sitting there.
That's
An
true.
EV,
True.
yeah.
Is this the number one game where people leave multipliers?
It's one of them, yeah. Like the other games, some of the other slot machines, of course, you're going for must hits or that kind of thing. People leave them up high as well. But, yeah, this is definitely one of them. in the video poker world that
Okay.
you'll see. And
Excellent.
I'm sure our friend Frank has talked about.
Oh,
that
he
as
told
well.
the story over at
Oh,
one
my
of the strip
God.
casinos. He walked right into it. Yeah, yeah.
How common is this? He walked into an originator.
Yeah.
Can you explain what these guys were? How often does this happen? What these guys were doing, and explain, because you know the story.
I walked into one right across the street at the Golden Nugget one time. A guy was in high limit.
Okay.
And he was doing it to a guy, and then he left, and I quickly jumped in and took all his multipliers. You
did?
He started swearing at me. Yeah.
So one guy leaves the multipliers. He takes the loss to get the free play and the mailers. His buddy will come in and then scoop it, and then but this is where you got to be sitting next to the guy, as they made a mistake with Frank B. And here you saw what was going on. You jumped in with a body check, and you came in and scooped it.
Yeah, they talked the tourist into playing them. You know, these machines are hot. They'll even show you a picture of what you can hit on these games, getting you to play it, and then they finagle them to leave all the multipliers on different games.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Were you nervous at all? Did they threaten you?
There's security kind of right by there. It was across the street, and there's
Okay.
security right there. So I just yelled security. you want storming away.
There you go. All right. How about non-video poker games? Is it the Hens game? Is it Helix? What are games out here that you see various places where people leave a lot of no idea that they're leaving juicy multipliers or bonuses?
Yeah, and they leave those, like on the Hens, they leave the Hens loaded up with bonuses and that kind of thing. These games are dying off a little bit. Of course, in town here, they're checking them, pretty regularly. And Buffalo Ascension was another one I think I showed last time.
Yep.
That one's pretty much dying out. There's still a few around, but yeah, even people were getting in trouble playing those games. They're taking away their offers.
How much time do you think you need to tell the story of the card drawings? Do you need like 8-10 minutes?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
do it on the next one.
Yeah, because you're going to hang out in studio here. You also obviously big into college football, the lower levels, bowl games. I know it's turned into a different deal altogether, obviously, with the transfer portal and everything. Is there a game or two on the radar that you like that maybe a number is worth betting right now?
I was lucky 6-1 in the FCS playoffs this year, and of course I'm on Crack's podcast every week, so I gave out most of them there. Or I'm on with Jimmy Ott as well as on with him this morning, and I mentioned how this Illinois State team is getting 10 points. It's kind of a conflicting game for me because the coach for Montana State, I was assistant baseball coach for him when he was in high school. Small world.
Wow.
But so I'm kind of rooting for him to win. But I just think this Illinois State team has after they beat North Dakota State, they have a fear of they're not going to lose to anybody, and this game is going to be a really good one. It's not for a couple weeks here, and they're betting Montana State like they got tomorrow's newspaper. So
Well, they were
we'll
awesome
wait
in the
and see,
second
but
half on
yeah.
Saturday.
Was that the strangest box score you've ever seen? Illinois State, North Dakota State?
Oh, with the 5 interceptions
Yes.
and
The yards?
Yeah, they just didn't give up, and they were down 14 and close, and then they had a big run, and that coach has been there forever, Brock Specht. He said, let's go for 2, go for the win, which is the right call when you're a big underdog, and he got it, and then North Dakota State couldn't do anything with the ball.
Do you think we can ever see that at the higher level? We just watched James Madison get waxed and also Tulane get killed. Are they ever going to be able to compete with the big boys?
I don't know about the playoffs, but every once in a while you see it during the regular season. Some of these teams are, sleeping against these smaller schools, and that's why I like to bet the smaller schools, and I like to follow them. Richie B, I think's talked about a lot. He bets a lot of those, and so does Kenny White.
Richie B says he likes to roll up his sleeves and dive into the trash.
Yeah, he does a lot of funny things.
And college basketball too. He loves it. Would you have a guy that you would be in charge of tipping people with drawings?
Oh, you're talking about, yeah. There was some drawings that I used to be involved in way back, and this is way back in the day when I first started was learning. And let's put it this way: if you gave the guy a $20 bill, pretty much if you're in that drawing, there were small drawings, but pretty much you were going to get picked.
For $20.
Yeah, if you're playing, you're going to get picked in that drawing. If you're on property when he was calling out the names.
Well, to win what? What are we talking about here?
Anywhere from $250 to like $500. $500 was maybe the top. You got to had to pick out of envelopes and stuff.
Unbelievable.
$100 was just like the small prize.
Now we're talking.
Okay.
Now we're talking.
But you've also won several cars.
Yes, I have.
Okay. So you just hang on to that. You're going to stick around for one more segment. Professional gambler Randy McKay, kind enough to join us here a couple of days before Christmas in town. Advantage player for many years. And he's won, like I said, several card drawings. He has a secret to share. We'll tell you what it is coming up next on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We continue here. Advantage player, professional gambler Randy McKay for many years in studio with us. You just told me during the break you've never had a cannoli before?
Yeah, I never had one. Of course, growing up in Midwest area, I've had lutefisk and lefse, which are my favorite. Lefse is really good.
I love lefse.
I asked him during the break. He goes, "Well, I'm not Italian." What does that mean?
You had pizza?
Yes, right. Unbelievable. You're the man. How many card drawings have you won?
So combined with partners, I've probably won, pretty close to I think 14 total.
Oh my God.
And I got a shot at the end of the year to win this, last one and get me to 15. We'll see if it happens, but it's at a kind of obscure location. Maybe I'll get lucky and get it.
How many times did you take the vehicle or opt for the cash?
I'd say that's about 50-50 because a lot of times they were giving you a good enough offer where it was better to take the cash. Or I had a buyer a couple times that wanted the vehicle. Like
Right.
I won. I forget what kind of at Silverton. The one year I won can't think of the name of the vehicle, but the guy wanted, the poker player wanted James Van Alstyne, so I sold it to him.
Okay.
Okay, very nice.
All right. So I was standing side by side one time with you, and we were in a drawing here at Golden Gate, and they call your damn name. You get cash, and you're in for the card drawing. And you look at me and you go, "I bet you have two times as many tickets as I do." Funny. And they draw your name. So there's a method to the madness here. Why you've won 14 card drawings? Show us your skill or your secret here about how you do this, and they keep drawing your name.
So there's not many ticket drawings anymore. It's all electronic, which is bad for everybody or everybody in my community anyway. So you had to adapt. Back when there's all ticket drawings, you could there was no rules that say you couldn't do this. So you could either put in a flat ticket. And here's a picture of a flat ticket from Derek's parlay card.
Yep.
Or here's a four-cornered one. And if you're just a random person reaching in there, of course it's a lot easier to get the four-corner one than try to find the flat one. And if you did them all cornered like that, it gave you a way better chance to get drawn. I mean, you're not guaranteed, but of course these corner ones always were way easier to pick. And then they finally started coming up with rules too. They put on the bin no bent tickets. That was another thing they started to do to negate this because a lot of places saw, hey, these bent tickets are always getting picked. Well, I wonder why.
So what do you remember, like the most amount of tickets you've ever had in a drawing before, and then you yourself would go through and like put the four corners on it every single time?
Yeah, back in the day when I was playing real heavy for card drawings, it would take me a good over an hour to bend all these tickets like this. It's time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
And
then you would place them in the drum on your own?
Yeah, I'd come in with a big bag, like a big, big shopping bag or whatever, and then put all the tickets in there, and people would look at me like I was crazy.
They're the crazy ones for not doing it.
Yeah. I thought you were going to come and put something in the refrigerator or in the freezer, like with the Patrick Ewing, if there was some shenanigans. It's just an origami, and that's been the key to your success through all these years.
Yeah, it's been very good. And, maybe there's some obscure casinos or, maybe people are listening where they still do it this way. Mm-hmm. Well, you're going to have a little edge if you play at those casinos. But most of them now with these new systems are all electronic.
Okay. How about the story where you took a bad beat after what happened at the Venetian and how this impacted you in New Mexico?
So there was two guys in charge of this drawing at the Venetian, and they made sure this high-rolling guy got picked because he lost a bunch of money. And I wasn't in Vegas at the time. I was down doing my gig in New Mexico that I've talked about with the Deuces Wild machines. And they got fired, and this dang Indian tribe had to hire these two guys. They were smart guys, I guess, because they picked up on this advantage game, over 2% video poker game that we were playing there that I played for years. But, all good things come to an end, but that was a tough one.
Yeah, because you moved to New Mexico specifically to play that machine because it was paying out so well.
Yeah, it was worth over $100 an hour just to sit there and grind every day on it. And, it was a decent place to live. I mean, it wasn't, New Mexico isn't the most exciting state in the world, but it was okay.
Yeah, I remember the story. I don't remember what happened. Were they hit gaming fines, everything for what happened, rigging the card drawing?
Yeah, gaming got a hold of that one, and they couldn't get a license, I don't think, anymore in Nevada. I was surprised the Indian tribes acknowledged that. I bet it wouldn't happen now.
How'd they uncover it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I haven't heard all the details. Maybe AC knows I'm sure he knows all the details, but they finally figured out. Maybe they got ratted out too.
Do you recall like the biggest percent chance you ever had to win a big drawing and you didn't win?
When I didn't win, that was at the, and I'll tell the story too. It was at the M Resort when, this company isn't there anymore, Cantor Gaming. They've been fined many times for bad activities, and they used to have this E-Deck Gaming. In that first year, they were real aggressive with it. They gave you huge bonuses for playing, and I did real well in that and made some money. And then they had a card drawing that lasted, 10 months. Every week they'd give away a $1,000 prize, which I was hitting every week. I was like the only one playing for it. And then 2 weeks before the drawing, all of a sudden this young gal starts playing. I'm like, where did this young gal come from? And then later I find out that it was a CEO's like stepdaughter or something like that. And of course, I probably had over 90% of the drawing for the electronic drawing, and she got picked.
And she was eligible to win it?
Yeah, she was eligible to get picked in the rules because she wasn't an immediate family.
Oh,
good point. Yeah, good catch there. What happened with the one incident at the Hilton? Now it's the Westgate when it was the Hilton.
Yeah, I guess, I can tell that one too. So they were giving away like Hondas and, different lower end type vehicles, which, still worth, good money. And we decided to take a shot at that, me and a friend of mine, and, it was decent because they had a good mailer. And we didn't realize that they were going to bring in this container of keys. And of course, if you pick the right key, which the one that starts the car, it's got ridges and, like a regular key. Of course, now we have fobs and we don't even have car keys anymore. But the one that won the car was, and they were giving away 3 of them, all had ridges in, and they're all in this clear container. And the ones that were losers all had these flat, like demo keys that you can still get at the dealership if you need to start your vehicle if you lose your other car. So there must have been 100 keys in there, but they didn't care if you even looked in, and you can just pick out your right key to get it the first few times. And I think they had to give out more cars than they were supposed to. They're supposed to only give away like 3 or 4 cars, and they ended up having to give away like 5 or 6 back in the day.
So you get there for the drawing day, and you realize, oh my God, this is a clear box. And hold on a second here. Do I see a couple of keys with ridges on it that actually might be the real deal?
Yeah.
And you can look in.
And then you had to work on, and then eventually you worked on your hands to make sure you felt like a flat one or one with grooves in it. And I've seen that done a couple times. That was the only one where they used a clear box. I've seen it done with kind of a hidden box where I had to reach in and try to find it that way, and I missed. And the old man hit it behind me. But that was back in the day, and that was a good one. Like these casinos used to give away a lot of cars back in the day, and that was like a lot of your big edge to play for these promotions.
The last time Frank B was in, he told the story of Robert X. And he
laughs immediately.
You're laughing already? Yeah. So Robert X was also like an advantage player, but if you needed a guy to play the machines with a big progressive, you'd call him in. And one time he asked for a room because he'd been playing 12-hour sessions and wanted to take a nap, but he had no shame. So then when it's time for Frank B to check out, he'd see like MILF Hunter 6 on there or something with the adult videos.
No, they only made 5, Paul. Come on, let's not get crazy
Dallas
here.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, he does Dallas. Good call. So what can you tell us about Robert X?
So I'll add to the story, too. He's also friends with Phil Hellmuth. He was back in the day.
Okay.
So anytime he saw Robert X or Phil Hellmuth would see Robert X, he'd give him $100. So Robert X always went broke, but if he owed you money and the World Series was in town, that was a time to go collect from him because Phil was giving him 100 every time he saw him. So, but when I used him, I pumped up his card so he could stay in the hotel, and they didn't charge, I didn't have to use my credit card. So he never Robert X'd me. He Robert X'd a lot of other people, but he never got me on the Robert X.
Oh, you got lucky.
But it's
you
just
got lucky. Imagine being put in that position when they tell you got what movies? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
The guy orders 5 pornos.
Yeah.
But also, it speaks to like people that you've had though before, like that you need in a pinch, right? Frank was telling us that, like he had an ID guy.
Yeah.
I need an ID in a pinch. Can you make me one?
Yeah, you got to have those type people on, just in case, that.
The best is if they thought someone was holding on to money and not giving. They give a lie detector. Take a lie detector right there. Hook the guy up. I think you're holding out on us.
Yeah, blackjack players have a lot. I'm not a blackjack player, or at least as much as them guys. I play a lot of video blackjack, but I never did as much. I played some 2-to-1 promotions on table games, but them blackjack guys, they can think of a lot of ways, especially at the, hear all them stories at the blackjack ball.
You want to hang around for another segment, or you got to go?
Sure.
We'll talk some NFL coming up here and Follow the Money as VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.